We began with a follow-up to a story we first told you about in Spencer, Iowa back in January. A fire broke out at a building on Grand Avenue that housed 5 businesses on the ground floor and 8 apartments on the top floor. The fire damage forced all 5 businesses to move out and look for new locations, all in an effort to hopefully eventually open up shop. The 8 apartments on the top floor unlivable. After an investigation, it was determined the fire started in apartment 5, but officials say the cause is unknown. The case was closed in April. One of the business owners displaced by the fire was determined not to let her dreams go up in smoke. KTAV's Irvin Doman met with the owner of Biscuits and Bows Pet Grooming and has more on how the business is now operating in its new Spencer location.
It was just heartbreaking to see everything you've worked for just kind of up in flames.
January 22nd of 2023, Caitlin Barnes watched her business, Biscuits and Bows, go up in flames. Within a month, her prayers had been answered as she was able to open at a new location just a few short blocks from here.
The girl that owns this building, I've actually been grooming her dogs since I've started grooming. The building of relationships with clients is huge because I would have never known this. And yeah, so she offered, and within 2-3 weeks, I was in here.
Thankfully, the day of the fire, there were no dogs in the business, but the loss of work materials and location put a strain on Barnes, who is self-employed. The community was able to provide support in the midst of the tragedy.
I feel like the outpouring of people after the fire, during the fire, my phone was just blowing up with love and support, and that's what I love about Spencer.
Some of the support received was from longtime friend and customer Taylor Rohde.
When we saw that the fire broke out, I instantly reached out to check on her and check on the animals too, and everything was okay at that time. And then, yep, just waiting to hear what her next step would be. Barnes knew that it would take an immense amount of work to restart from the ground up. But when it comes to her passion, nothing is too far-fetched.
This, I feel like, is what I'm meant to do, and I am stubborn enough to never give up.
In Spencer, Iowa, Irvin Doman, KTIV News 4.
Biscuits and Bows is now located at 14 West 5th Street in downtown Spencer. As of today, the portion of the building that caught fire remains boarded up and is empty.